So then, welcome back to the Return Festival interview sessions. Today we have two very special guests. We have Louise Thaller and Stanislas Giroux from the awesome film Destiny of a Sherpa Woman, Yangshi. And we're very happy to have your film here and want to say hello first.
Hello,
Hey, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Yeah. Where are you located now at the moment?
We are in Geneva, in Switzerland.
Ah, very nice. Yeah, greetings from Weimar, Germany. Um, could you please introduce your film?
Yeah, sure. So, The Destiny of a Sherpa Woman, Yangji, is about Yangji Sherpa, who grew up in a very poor village at the foot of the Mount Everest and who didn't even know Everest was the highest mountain in the world. And she managed to escape poverty and to become one of the first Nepali female mountain guides. And she also summits the Everest. And she sends a message to all poor Nepali women about women empowerment and access to freedom.
Yeah, that's a very good summation. It's a very inspiring film. It was very interesting to see her her journey back to the old village and then to some facts that you stray in. How did this film came about? And I also read it's a series of films with altitude in combination.
Yeah, basically, this movie is a part of a long feature, a long documentary that we are currently making. This movie is called Altitude, and it explores the way mountain can transform individual people. And most of the time in mountain movies, we tend to see people climbing up and reaching summits and try to conquer the mountain. But we want to show to the people the hidden parts of the iceberg and to see how anonymous people, how people with no Instagram account or not in search for glory or something that something how to say that
They're not in quest of performance, what the mountains can mean to them and how they're able to build their destiny in mountains environments around the world. So the whole series Altitude, so it's both a series and a feature movie actually, explores the variety of connections that mankind ties with mountain, from Nepal to the Latin Andes all the way through the to Morocco, for example.
Yeah, and I was very inspired, especially when you saw the Sherpa school at the end when they hand out the books and everything. It was very inspiring to see when we learned that only 1% of the Sherpas basically are women, and this is growing thanks to people like Yangshi. It was very interesting to see. And how do you feel it's situation that sort of this mountain climbing becomes like a tourist attraction, and the Sherpas have to guide them all the time? Is there sort of just transparency against it, sort of say tourism and the spiritual way of mountain climbing?
So important to note, it was really interesting for us to discover that the Sherpa people are actually a tribe before they became a mountain porter. And in Europe, we usually refer to Sherpas as being the ones carrying the big backpacks for the high mountain expeditions. But first and foremost, they are a people, and not all of them make their way to working for the mountain expeditions. So for a lot of them, Sherpa and also other tribes, mountaineering is actually a way to make a living. And it is there is also a spiritual connection to the mountain, but for them, being able to join a Western expedition is also a way to climb up the social ladder, to redistribute to their people in their villages. So they want to make sure that as many people from their community are able to have access to these job opportunities, either by carrying backpacks or maybe by working as a cook or as a guide. So it's very much one of the first, like the mountaineering and trekking industry is one of the first employers in Nepal. So that's important to acknowledge.
Yeah, yeah, and want to ask a little bit about the production of the whole thing. So you actually shot there in the Himalaya upstairs. What were like the most difficult parts to conquer, and like also like with the translation? Do you have a translator and everything? How did that work out? Do you have to gain the trust first of Yangji, or was she like open to it?
So the most difficult part in terms of shooting was of course, the altitude sickness, because we were a bit short during the shooting, the whole shooting in the movie, and we had to climb up to 4,000 meters in only 2 days. That's right, less than 2 days. And the last day, when you climb up that quick, you feel like headaches, and it was very difficult to sleep. And we had some shots that we had to shoot it by night and everything. So that was quite difficult to stay focused with the camera and all the gear. We work as a small team, so we were only 2 people with the camera and the sound recording, and that make that a bit difficult. But that was manageable at the end. When it comes to communication, we were lucky enough because as we are French speaking, Yangji also was able to speak French because she took some courses back in the years, and that made the whole process much more easy. And she was also fluent in English, so when it was a bit more when we had 2 options to communicate, but this person was a good mix for communication.
Yeah. And was she like open to the project from the beginning, or do you have to convince her, like tell her what it meant?
Oh, she was absolutely open. She's always seen her personal journey as a potential source of inspiration for other women. So, for example, when she submitted the Everest back in 2018, she made sure to get a proper media coverage because she didn't want to submit the Everest for herself and for her own sake, but she really believed that message could be a powerful way out of poverty for a lot of women. So, in that sense, she was really happy to be given the opportunity to broaden her message and to really connect her mountaineering performances with a more, you know, grounded sort of life experience telling, because we usually look at either the mountaineers on top of mountains or the people who don't have access to this type of experiences, but we rarely look at this from the lens of, okay, actually, this is accessible to everyone, even those who were born in poverty. So that was very much the message Yangji was trying to convey. So she was indeed very open.
Nice, nice. And yeah, and one thing about the editing, like we all know, like in short films, especially these segments, it's like the hardest part is the condensation of the footage. Was the process like? Did it take very long, or do you find the style very early on?
That's an interesting question, because as every project, we had to work on a lot of different versions and different ideas based on our storytelling. And the final film that you will see is actually maybe the 10th or 11th version of the first the first experiment we had with editing. We were concerned about the way of putting her childhood in the movie, because we had no archive of her childhood. So that was also a thing that we discussed for storytelling. Where should we put that? How should we illustrate that? There is also a part that tells the fact that she summited Everest. In that part, we used archive footage, but we also tried to put a kind of cinematic experience to tell her story about why she did Everest and how she did that in the movie. And that was not planned in the beginning, but we had the idea when we climbed up with her. And I think that's a kind of singular way um, to express what she felt at that moment in a much different way that we are used to see in movies, in documentaries.
Yeah, I think it pays off quite nicely. And yeah, and I want to ask now about like leading a bridge to our this year's like theme, freedom. What is it good for? What do you think, like on your personal side or regarding to that film? What does freedom mean to you? I know it's a big question, but we ask everybody.
It's a $1 million question. Well, looking at Yangji's life journey, you can look at freedom as the ability to pursue your dream or even to have a dream. Not everybody even has the possibility to build a childhood around dreams and to step into their dreams into adulthood. So freedom might be that just the bare possibility to translate ideas into dreams into projects. um, and when it comes to us as independent filmmakers, well, freedom is the choice is a choice to lead our own project, to do it our own way, regardless of whether or not we're going to be able to screen it someday, just because it's so rich, these encounters, this friendship with Yang Ji that we were able to build, but also with all of the others. This is freedom. This is freedom to us.
And maybe another word on that. You make the choice to try to reach freedom, and some people can help you to reach this freedom. And in the movie, we can see that Yang Ji tries to employ other poor women from a poor background and villages to help her during her ascent. And we see that because during our ascent, we were accompanied by a young woman that has pretty much the same background as Yangji as she was young. And with this experience, she gives the possibility for this girl and other girls that she helps through her association to be more sensitive of the path to freedom. And in our movie, we want to show that some random people can live great stories if they have the will. And maybe this girl that we see in the movie, she one day with this kind of experience, she will get closer and closer to freedom. And I think it's the duty of everyone here to try to show this path to any people that we encounter in life in general. So yeah, that's I think it's something related to the personal will of everyone.
Yeah. So thank you very much for your time and a nice super answer and insights. Destiny of a Sherpa Woman Yangshi by Louise Thaller and Stanislas Giroux will be playing on Friday, the 27th of October at Block 3 in the Cinema Mon Ami in Weimar. I thank you very much again. A very inspiring film and I can't wait to show it to the crowd.
Have fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have fun, guys.
Goodbye.
Cheers.
Goodbye.